Hey guys, thanks for clicking. Really appreciate that. Today we're going to do an oil change, and I think we're going to change the serpentine belt on a 2017 Subaru Crosstrek. So watch along with us, and we're going to get it done. So first we're going to drain the oil. We're going to go underneath. I'm not sure if it's a 13 or a 15, but I'll let you know when we get underneath. Subaru, at least the Crosstrek, I mean, if you're going to do this job yourself, this is the car to do it on. It is so easy to do this oil change, this service. It's really a good deal. They put the filter on the top of the engine. This is just like the best design. So not only is it on the top of the engine, and it couldn't be possibly easier to get to, the oil drains down, so when you take it doesn't make a mess. This is your oil fill, super easy, right next to it. Dipstick for checking the oil, and we are going to go underneath now and drain the... All right, so it is a 14 millimeter. I'm going to use the short extension on here because it makes it just a little bit easier. They have these guards, debris guards. I'm not really sure what the right word is for those, but wow, someone put that on there pretty tight. I don't know why it's so tight. If it is tight, try to take the extension off. Gives you a little more leverage. All right, like I said, it's a 14. Was a little tight on there. I don't know why. I must have not known my strength last time I did it. So you have a couple ways to do this without making a freaking mess. You can use the extension and the ratchet. Now, here's my trick. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But as you unscrew, keep pressure on the screw so the oil doesn't come out, and you'll feel it click. And right when it clicks, you can start to drain the oil out here without making a mess, or you can make a mess. Right. So use a drain pan, let it all drain out until it stops. So they always forget to tell you when you go, which I forgot to ask for it, but they should ask you when you go to the auto parts store. The little gasket, or whatever you want to call it, washer that goes on the oil, they sell a little kit. It comes with replacement ones. It's good to change these. Some of them actually press in. This one's pretty solid, so it's in good shape, and we're going to reuse it because I literally don't have another one. But it's always good to check that, because sometimes these are copper or they are plastic and they will wear out, and you don't want your oil leaking out of your drain nut. So check that out before you put it back in. It looks like our oil has drained out. So we're going to go back in there. We're going to just clean off the drain pan. We're going to pop this back in there, and then we will be done on the bottom side of this job. Okay, so like I said, make sure your gasket's good. I usually go down there with a rag, make sure everything's wiped off and clean, and there's no debris stuck between the oil nut and the oil pan. Make sure you're on tightening. Put it back in. We're going to snug up this oil nut. I'm sure they have a specific torque and a torque wrench for this. If anybody knows me and watched any of my videos, I'm not one of those people. So anyway, I put it on. I give it a good snug. I don't know, maybe I've just been doing it for so many years that I know that that's good. So anyway, we are done on the bottom. Oil is drained.
When we're all done with our oil, we put them in old cans and drain it, and this is where I don't spill it. see if I'm spilling it, but it sounds about right.
Now we're done underneath. We're gonna do the filter up top. It's always good to change the oil when the vehicle's hot because the oil drains out much better, but everything's hot then, so I'm gonna use the filter wrench on here. Like I said, you couldn't get an easier filter to do. We use our nifty little wrench here. We'll loosen this up. And then just grab, a rag or something, because like I said, the filter is hot. I love you, Subaru, for the coolest ever filter design. Watch this. Comes off and you don't spill any oil because of this cool design. So props to Subaru for that. Checks number one, we have the same brand, so that makes it really easy, and you can read the numbers on the filter if you are using a Fram filter. It is FF7317 for the Subaru Crosstrek. So match them up, make sure they're right. We know they're right. Let's see if this is open. It's not open, that's fine. We're gonna open up our oil. This is how I do it. I just stick my finger in there, put a little coat of oil on the new gasket. And I did fail to mention, when you take your old filter, make sure the gasket came off with the old filter and it's not stuck on the engine underneath, what's on top on this, but make sure it's not stuck to the engine. Make sure it's in the filter. Just take a rag, paper towel sometimes is best. Needs a little less debris. Just clean off your area there, make sure it's good. Take your new filter. You do not have to put oil in the filter, otherwise it just spills everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna put this on here. You hand tighten the filter back on, give it a nice snug. Now, you see the 135, that is when my next oil change is. It's at 130 right now. Synthetic oil, 5,000 miles is the suggested. So you just write on here with some paint pen, 135,000, in case you're like me who loses the little sticker that tells you when the oil changes. Plug is back in, filter is on there and secure. Now this is our fill. We're just gonna remove our fill. You should never put stuff on the engine. Set bad examples. We got a funnel here. They're oil funnels, so everything sticks to oil. So just take a paper towel, clean it out, or you can use some like carb clean or something. Let's put that in there and let's put in our oil. This one takes 5 quarts and it's 5 quarts. Look at that. When you pour it in, don't over pour it because sometimes the funnel can overflow on the bottom side and it makes a mess all over your engine. You don't want to do that. So be patient and just pour the oil in. Makes noises.
This is your first video with the iPhone 14? The focus is really good.
Check it. Now the car is up on ramps, so really you should check it once it's down, but we're going to just give it a quick check. We're going to make sure yeah, it shows it needs a little bit more. Can you see the dot? And you can see the oil level. I'm not sure if that comes out on the camera. Hopefully it does. But there's your oil dots. Can you see them?
Sometimes.
Okay. Well, this is out of quart, and this is the full. Though they put holes there, and then if it's full, you'll see. So Let's check it out, see what it says. And it is almost to the top right there. It's almost to the top, so that's good. When we take the car down off of the ramps, we will double check the oil again just to make sure when it's on a level surface. But we put in the 5 quarts in it, it's looking good. Do go underneath and check the oil nut, make sure that nothing's leaking out before you start the car again, but should be good. Now we're gonna go to the air cleaner. This is pretty easy design here. You have 2 little clips. It's a little bit awkward on there, but you just kind of get it out. Now you can see there's like all kinds of leaves and stuff in there. And we're gonna go outside in the sunlight and show you the oil air filter. Okay, so all in all, this filter is not in terrible shape, but because we're here, we're gonna clean it out. So number 1 is make sure that you have the correct filter, same brand and everything, so it looks pretty good. Number 2 is, I'm gonna switch over here, find the sun, and look through the filter. I don't know if you can see it with the phone or not, but look through the filter. Let's put them in the same direction. And you can see the light through the filter. So like this one, you can still actually see some light through it. It's not horrible, but you can see the difference between the old and the new. So I would say let's change the filter. Because I have compressed air, we're gonna use some compressed air to clean out the air box. And I do it all the time, but they do tell you, especially if you go to an oil change place, you can't blow out the old filter with the air hose. You can, like I said, I do it all the time, but the filter's pretty reasonable and we're just gonna go with the new filter, but you can. They say, you know, you can break the filter with the air and it's not as good, blah, blah, blah. Use your own discretion on that, but with this, now you can use a wet dry vac also if you don't have an air hose and just suck the extra leaves and stuff out of the air box. Make it nice. That's how that goes. Our new filter in. Make sure you put it in the right way. Some of them actually tell you intake or whatever. Just remember how you did it. This one is the dirty side, so it goes in here like this. You drop it in. There's 2 clips on the bottom. You make sure that those clips are in. Bring your air box in. Push, push. That's how easy it is to change the air filter. Like I said, this is a do-it-yourself kind of video. Like, can you do it yourself? Really, really easy. The oil is really easy. And we're gonna get back to the cabin filter because they didn't have it in stock, so we have to actually go pick it up. But so for now, we're just gonna do those 2. While you're in here, just top off some of your fluids. This is the windshield wiper fluid in here. Take a quick look at your battery terminals, okay? Look at them. They're clean, there's no corrosive on them. They're secure, everything's good. We just put this battery in not too long ago, but those are things to take a quick check on. You got your other fluids and you have your antifreeze here. There's usually a mark right on the thing that'll tell you high or low. You shouldn't be leaking antifreeze because if you are, then something else is wrong. But anyway, okay, so this video we're doing the serpentine belt also. So if you're gonna stick around to see that, it should be pretty quick and easy on this. I've never actually done it. So we're gonna start with a 10mm bolt. Takes this little cover right off here. Let's grab that and we'll go from there. All right, so there's one 10mm screw holding this cover on. Let's get that off. It wants to be difficult. It's got a little rubber stopper. Okay. We got the cover off. Another thing on this engine, really nice access to the serpentine belt. It's very easy to get to. You have one tensioner pulley right here. That's just the main pulley. That's a 14 millimeter. And before you remove the belt, take a picture real quick so you can see the routing of the belt. Some cars have a sticker on the hood or somewhere on the cowl that shows you the belt route. This one doesn't have it, so take a quick picture before you take it off. It can't hurt. And then you just put this 14 millimeter on your tensioner and you're gonna tighten it. Moves that, and then you loosen the belt right there, and then slowly just let off of the tensioner, and now your belt's free. All right, so we have our new belt. First thing you want to do is check your belt. I usually flip it inside out. When you roll the belt inside out, sometimes you'll see little cracks or little crevices in here. This one does not show any cracking. It looks fairly good, but you can't always tell the wear of the belt. So we're gonna open the new one and we're gonna check the length. Looks to me like they're pretty good. So we have a new belt. We want to get that installed. Again, try not to burn yourself. I'm always famous for that. So this one has another idler pulley here. It goes around that, down there. You kind of just got to finagle it into the right position. Here. Here. So finagle the belt back on. You know, tip from me is try to get the farthest one on the bottom hooked on first, because you want to go from the easiest one here to put your last loop, and that's actually where I took it off. So you're going to go around. Quick look is, you know, there's the teeth side or the groove side of the belt, groove side pulley, smooth side pulley, smooth side of the belt. Those are good things to check really quick. So the smooth idlers are on the smooth side and the groove side is on the groove side. Then you grab your wrench. You do not have to change positions because you're not, you want to hold tension on here. So you're going to bring this like this, and you're going to bend your pulley as far as you can go there, and you're going to pop your belt back on and remove that. And then just eyeball it and check. Like, see how this is off-centered right here? Can you see that on the camera? Come over to the other side. You can see. See how it's not centered? So you're gonna loosen it up and you're gonna push this over and make sure that all of your belt is centered. So you just take a little tension off and watch as I push it over. Little tension, push it over into the groove. So make sure your belt is in all the grooves like that. And then you can eyeball the top and the bottom one from here. You can see that they're in there correctly. So that's it, boom, new belt. Okay, because this little cover does not cover a lot, we're gonna put it back on, but ideally you'd wanna start your engine up and make sure that your belt's good and it's not flapping around. Because I can see it, I'm gonna put this back on. There's just a little rubber push thing here, and there's one 10 millimeter bolt right here that holds that cover on. I'm not too concerned, but you know, for the sake of the belt, I think they gave you two options. It was either 20 bucks or it was like $38 for the better belt, you know, 130,000 miles. Gosh, spend a couple bucks and put a new belt on, you know? Okay, so now we have those things done. I'm gonna go start the engine. Like I said, take 1 minute because not that it's ever happened to me, but per se, you forgot to put the oil drain. Just take a quick look underneath the car, take a quick look, make sure nothing's leaking. Then you're gonna go back in, you're gonna start your car, you're gonna let it run for a minute. We're actually gonna take it down off of the ramps, but let me start it up. dipstick look. Belt's spinning fine. There's nothing flapping around. Everything looks good. Now we're going to take it down off the ramp, but because of my garage, I'm going to lower this hood. Okay, so there you have it. We get the oil down. We got the new belt on there. Everything looks good. Everything sounds good. Nothing's leaking underneath the car. We checked our fluids. We got new air cleaner in there. So let's just take one final check of the oil. Make sure it's good. We let it run for a couple minutes, then we let the oil settle down. Dipstick back in there. Remember when you're checking the oil, I see people do this wrong all the time, and it's just a pet peeve of mine, I guess, but when you check the oil on a car, you take the dipstick out like this, and you keep the dipstick in the down position. I see people do this all the time. Well, if the oil runs up the dipstick, then you can't really get the proper reading. So, pet peeve of mine, like I said. So you put it in, grab with the towel to the end there, and then you can see your oil level is perfect. The bubble was right. So we're good to go on that. That's it, guys. So, do it yourself on this particular project is like really easy. Subaru, awesome car to work on. And that's it. Start to finish, oil change, air filter, serpentine belt. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace.
Bye.
Hey, guys. Thanks for clicking. So today we're going to install a blower rack on our trailer that we use every day. So kind of important. We haven't had a blower rack yet. So this is our first one, and let's check it out and see how it goes.